Good morning, CSA family. Thank you for taking the time to just set aside time in order to go within this morning. So if it's comfortable for you, I'd like you to gently close your eyes. Become very aware of your own breathing. Know that you're winding down. You're relaxing. You're commanding the presence of everything about this physical body to stand still. Stand still and wait upon the silence of love. You are consciously commanding every appearance of anything that is uncomfortable, that's commanding your attention to relax. Relax. I am the I am. I consciously control this physical body. Through my power of I am, I send the healing breath of life throughout this physical body. Just flow from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, I send the healing breath of life. I know, and I know that I know who I really am. Because of this truth, I focus this body, this mind, this soul on peace throughout this universe. Let there be peace. Let there be love. And I command that every life form accept the embrace of love. I am love in action upon this planet. I radiate love. I radiate peace. I radiate joy. It is my gift to the world. Peace, love, joy. I give freely to this world. Peace, love, joy. I give freely. And as we began to come back into this center that love is building, I hold my love within and radiate it to the world. So gently begin to move your hand, your feet, your eyes wide open. Breathe in. Confirm. I know the truth of who I am. And through this truth, I declare peace, love, and joy for this entire universe, beginning first with self. I love you all, and so it is.
It's a good day. It's a beautiful weather. We're going to start our praise and worship as soon as my partner joins me on stage. He's doing a dramatic pause, waiting for people to join us in the church. This mic is really loud, making an entrance. I hope you enjoyed your meditation. And this part of the day is really about, yes, we're up here singing, but we're singing hoping that we're pulling you into the song, okay? This is praise and worship, which means that we lead, but you follow and join in the energy, and we sing it together. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Oh, not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. We stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of you. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. Breathe, Spirit, breathe on us. Spirit, breathe, breathe on us. Spirit, breathe on us. Spirit, breathe on us. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Send your Spirit, God. That's number one. Number 2, coming up. Mention of your name. This is just to remind us how powerful Spirit is, right? Just at the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God. That's what we're saying here, right? We have that in us.
Why don't you sing along with us?
At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God. At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God.
Now everybody sing along with us.
At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God.
Oh yeah, yeah.
At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God.
And then we just say, Spirit, you are God.
Spirit, you are God. Oh, oh. 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 At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God. At the mention of your name, every knee will bow, every tongue confess that you are God. Oh yeah, Spirit, you are God. Oh, oh. Spirit, you are God. Oh, oh. So Spirit, you are God. Oh, Spirit, you are God.
And now we just simply call out to Spirit. We just say,
Spirit, 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 Spirit.
go back and say,
Spirit, you are God. Oh, oh. Spirit, you are God. Oh, Spirit, you are God. Oh, Spirit, you are
all right.
Amazing.
Now we got warmed up.
Amazing.
Let's get our little ones out of here into their own space. Welcome back, my friend. All right, we got one that's going to head back, and then we're going to send all of our inner kids back to that special place as well. Sing along with us. Especially you, Brian. Let it go.
Spirit loves the little children, all the children of the world. You go, David. No matter who you are, you're a bright and shining star. Spirit loves the little children of the world.
Okay, I see some people coming to life now. Let's raise the roof up in this place today. Let's make a joyful noise today. Sing some praise and some worship. All of you sing along. You ready? Here we go.
I will bless the Lord at all times. He's good. I will bless the Lord at all times. He's good. I will bless the Lord at all times. He's good. I will bless the Lord at all times. He's good.
He's good.
He's good.
So good.
So good.
Real good.
Real good. So each and every day of my life, I'll bless the Lord, for He's good. Yes, He is.
Say, I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Yeah,
Come
she
on now.
Say, I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Say, I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Say, I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
She's good.
She's good.
So good.
So good.
Real good.
Good.
Say,
Each and every day of my life, I'll bless the Lord, for she's good. Yes, she is. Come on, David, sing the song.
I know a place, yeah. Said ain't nobody crying, and ain't nobody worrying. I see lots of smiling faces,
I hear y'all out
yeah.
there. All right.
And loving all the races,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah. Said help me, yeah.
We'll take you there.
Come on, church, won't you help me? Yeah.
I'll take you there.
A little bit louder and help me. Yeah.
I'll take you there.
Come on, church, won't you help me? Yeah.
I'll take you there.
Come on, say I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Oh yeah. Say I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Say I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. She's good.
Say I will bless.
I will bless the Lord at all times. They're good.
It's good.
They're good.
So good.
So good.
Real good.
Real good.
Say
Each and every day of my life, I'll bless the Lord.
'Cause don't you know that God is good? Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep those hands together, everyone. Stand on your feet if you can. Stomp your feet if you can. We want to make sure that everyone knows that CSA is a place where everyone is welcome. So well. We'll love to have you back here, though. So come hear us live. Sing along with us. Everybody, you ready? Here we go. Let's go.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah, I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Now wave across the room to someone and say, hey, your soul is welcome here. And do the same. You at home, type someone's name that you miss here and let them know their soul is welcome.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. And I'm in the right place at the right time.
At the right time.
I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. Just where I'm supposed to be. And I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah, I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Now we're going to do an affirmation. It's a simple one. It just says, my soul is welcome here. Will you sing it with us? Everybody, here we go.
My soul is welcome here. 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 Yes. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. God is good when? I'm so glad you're in the church that Love is building here in West Sacramento. I always like to remind myself what kind of a community we are. We have many, many, many beliefs, and they all boil down to these four. The four beliefs are these. Number one is that God is all there is. Whether you call that Allah or Elohim or the sacred grandmother tree or infinite wisdom or divine love, it doesn't matter what you call it. That's the only real power. There's no external evil. There's no external devil. Now, you and I know there's plenty of evil and devilishness in this world, but we believe it starts and, more importantly, stops right here in the minds of human beings. The second belief that we have is that all thought is creative and influential, and as a result, we're thoughtful what kind of thinking that we do around here. We don't beat ourselves up if we have a mean thought. We just put in a new thought and keep moving on. We're not a blaming tribe. We're not a shaming tribe. We just put in a new thought and keep moving. The third belief that we have, and this gets a little tougher really, is that everything in our experience is either a call for love or an expression of love. No exceptions, none, zip. And, you know, sometimes that's hard because calls for love can come ugly, they can come clumsy. But if we can return love to them, we can transform that moment and begin to transform the planet. The last belief that we have that we hold on to with all of our heart, all of our mind, and all of our soul is that you are whole, perfect, and complete just as you are right this second. There may be some behaviors you want to let go of, some attitudes you want to let go of, some patterns of thinking you want to let go of, but at your essence, you are whole, perfect, and complete. So knowing that that's the kind of church we're in, I'd like to just welcome any second-time visitors. If you're a second-time visitor, would you just raise your hand because our ushers have a gift for you. I'm so glad you came back over here. Now it's the first Sunday of the month, so we want to just welcome birthdays. So if you have a birthday in the month of, where are we? April. If you have a birthday in the month of April, will you just stand? Because our ushers have a gift for you.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
So now if you are celebrating the recovery birthday from any addiction at all, you would be willing to stand and let us honor you. If it's your recovery birthday month in April, will you stand? Hey, Ray.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
And now we'd like to welcome any first-time visitors. And before we do that, we want to say hello to Janice, Jonice, Charisse, Sheila, Novi, Patricia, Bess, Rosanna, Jerry, Melissa, and Jermaine. So glad you're on the broadcast today. And now, first-time visitors. If you're a first-time visitor, will you just raise your hand? We're not going to ask you to stand up or say your name or anything. Just raise your hand.
So glad you came to celebrate Spirit. You are welcome here. We hope this isn't your last time. Anytime you're passing by, you are welcome here. So glad you came. Feel free to worship and celebrate Spirit's name. So glad you came to celebrate Spirit. You are welcome here.
Welcome to Nilda, Diane, Tasuno, and Zola. Good morning, CSA. My name is Tim Garcia. My pronouns are he and they. And I'm proud to be a member of your board of trustees. The center, please join me in reading the mission statement at the top of your bulletin or on the wall behind me. The Center for Spiritual Awareness is a diverse and caring community in which we share spiritual nourishment and celebrate all paths to God through the principles of science of mind. Today's altar flowers are from Jan Holm, and her note reads, Reverend Georgia, thank you for showing me that spirit is alive and well in and around me when, all the time, with much love and respect, Jan. Today's lobby flowers are from Jeanette Egan, and her note reads, Dear Mom, the evidence is undeniable that you are loved more than you can imagine. Nothing that you do, it's just because of who you are. Happy birthday. Love, Jeanette. And so what I'm about to say, if you're offended, don't get up and slap me, please. And that is that masks, as you all know, are optional at this point based off of low COVID numbers, which is a wonderful thing. So let's applaud low COVID numbers. The board continues to keep your health and your safety in mind. And so if the circumstance in the community in terms of health-wise changes, then we may require them again. But it's good to see all of your smiling faces this morning. Want more fulfillment in your daily life? Wondering about your place in the universe? Explore your personal relationship to creative power through study of one of Ernest Holmes' most popular book, This Thing Called You. This will be a powerful 6 weeks filled with love, laughter, fellowship, and spiritual principles, facilitated by Val Turner on Thursdays starting April 21st from 6 to 8:30 on Zoom only. Flyers are available with Val's contact information for questions. The CSA Traveling Lunch Bunch is going Ethiopian. On April 19th,
or meet at Queen Sheba Restaurant, where they serve great Ethiopian cuisine, one of the most popular cuisines in the world. Flyers are in the lobby. If you would like to leave the sanctuary on April the 11th with up to $10,000, and who wouldn't want to do that, we are selling raffle tickets to help you. Please go to our table, see Gretchen after the service, and she will sell you the winning ticket. A new class with Reverend Brenda Lambert called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. Class is starting up Tuesday, April 19th. Want to know how to use prayer to manifest or heal or change some condition in your life? Pick up a flyer in the lobby for more information. CSA Adventure Ministry is going roller skating on Friday, April the 15th. Look for flyers in the lobby. And we continue to offer prayer after service here in the front. Please take a seat in the row directly in front of me, and a practitioner will call for you. Only vaccinated practitioners are offering this service at this time. So now, after you've checked in on Facebook and told all your friends how wonderful it is to be in the sanctuary this morning, kindly turn your phone off. Have a good week.
I also just wanted to say, if you signed up for Reverend Brenda's class last Sunday, somebody inadvertently took the sign-up sheet home with them. I think it's one of those things where somebody was just kind of going down the line and picking up flyers to take home and look at later. So if you did sign up again today, because we don't have you on the list. So, and then when you're back there, just please look and don't pick up any more sign-up sheets if you can help it. At the end of the month, Reverend Brenda and I are going to be co-facilitating a workshop I'm very excited about. It's based on this book called The Body is Not an Apology. And here's who I want to attend. Anybody who has been shamed for any reason about your body, whether you're fat or you're skinny, whether you're bald, whether you have too much hair, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're transgendered, whether you're a person of color, any reason that you've been shamed because of your body and not the character of your life, I want you here. This is probably one of the most important books I've ever read. As a child who was shamed both because I was not feminine enough as much as I tried, and because I was too heavy for my family's tastes, I was shamed a lot. And so when I read this book, just the reading of the book, not even doing the work yet, just the reading of the book was a huge healing. And actually, I not only had it to read, but I didn't read it because I walk a lot every day. So I read it audibly, and the author read the book. And she is so dear. This is a book about love, about learning to love ourselves no matter what the messages that we got coming up or half an hour ago. Here's an interesting thing on this book. You know that Brené Brown is one of my heroes in life. And on the front of this book, she writes this: "This book took my breath away. It's an unexpected and urgent embrace of the truth." And you know what? This book took my breath away too. So I hope to see very many of you here. I hope to have a crowded sanctuary on the last Sunday of the month after service. It's going to be a great day to be here, by the way. Donna Appadoni of NPR fame is going to be delivering our message on the last Sunday of the month. So great day to be here for lots of reasons. Every day is a great day to be here, but that one especially. So let us fill up the rest of these seats of being of light that are in our heart this day. And before we do that, I want to acknowledge and honor the Patwin, Maidu, and Nisenan First Peoples for their original and continued stewardship of this land upon which CSA stands. If there are people in your heart this day for whatever reason, maybe they're traveling, maybe somebody's not feeling well and you're thinking about them, whatever the reason they're in your heart this day, would you speak their name aloud as I relight this candle, this memory candle. Eleanor, Emma, Jesus. I light this candle in their name and in the name of peace everywhere. And now it's time to anchor ourselves in prayer. So as I sound my bowl 3 times, I invite you to allow the tone of this bowl to take you deep into that place where you know and you know you know you are whole, perfect, and complete.
I need to be still. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When the world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. We welcome Elizabeth, Sheila, Nilda, Virginia, Ann, Rosemary, Jeff, Sheila, and Sandy.
I need to be still and accept the love of God. For I know that God is love. God is peace. God is everlasting joy. And I am one with God. I am one with love. I am one with peace. I am one with everlasting joy. For the love of God flows through me. The love of God is as me. And it is in this truth that I speak my word this morning. I speak my word in realization that God is all there is. There is no opposition to the power of God. And I believe this truth with every fiber of my mind, every fiber of my body. I know, and I know that I know that God truly is all there is. It is in this truth that I speak my word this morning for all families that are impacted with life's traumas. I speak my word for all those involved in trauma. Because I know, and I know that I know, the truth of it is we are whole, perfect, and complete as we are. Regardless of the appearances of things, life is eternal. Love is forever. And joy is mine for the claiming. So it is with this knowledge that I bless this service this morning. I bless our speaker. I bless our ecclesiastical staff. I bless the music that flows through our heart, our body, and everything about us that allows us to say, yes, yes, yes. It is through this blessing that I go into the silence of love, knowing this embrace is always there for me. It is always there for each and every one of us. We need only name and claim our inheritance. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for everything and everyone who's here today and bringing forth the unity, the harmonious connections that gives us strength to face each and every day. In this Thanksgiving, I release my word to the universal law of mind, knowing without a doubt, my word cannot, will not, shall not return to me void. And together we all say, and so blessed be. My name is Mary Bell, and I proudly serve you as one of the licensed practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Awareness, the church that love is building. And you can feel it if you're here and if you allow yourself. So I have an affirmation this morning that I'm going to read through once, and then I'm going to ask you if it's feasible for you to please stand forth and read with me to anchor it. And today's affirmation says, today I remember and relive a time when everything worked out for me. It happens more than I think sometimes. And anchor in this, today I remember and relive a time when everything worked out for me. It happens more than I think sometimes. Blessed be.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Rick. Thank you, and keep it coming week after week. Good morning to all of you online as well. Tomorrow is the date in 1968 when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
and the closing date of the season of nonviolence. Today's sacred reading is from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Hate multiplies hate. Violence multiplies violence. And toughness multiplies toughness in a descending spiral of destruction. The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars, must be broken. And we shall be purged into the dark abyss of annihilation. Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method that rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is called love, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone. This is our segment. It's called Welcome Back, and today I have Ronnie here with me. So, Ronnie, really quickly, tell us why you choose to come back to the church in person.
I just felt like it was a need to connect back with people again. After COVID, I didn't realize the feeling that you miss. There's kind of an emptiness, even though I was working through it all, and I kind of just zoned out the whole aspect of connecting with folks. It just, after coming here a couple of times back to church, I realized how wonderful it is to see people and speak to people and have just conversation about our lives and what we're doing and the challenges, et cetera. And it's just so fulfilling. It's just so nice to be back.
Well, welcome back, Ronnie. We're glad to have you. So, for all of you that are thinking about it, come on back. And guess what? It's mask optional now, too. So, see you then.
Indeed.
I couldn't agree more, friend. It's nice to see all your faces. Yeah, be all together.
Yes. So we are Love Eternal is our band name. I'm Jared. This is my wife, Shauna. Thank you. We are religious science practitioners, as well as we have been a married couple and have been together for 23 years, which I thought was funny because we saw the same for CSA. And so this song is called Forgiveness, and amazingly, it's about the spiritual quality of forgiveness. There you go, which I find to be one of the more difficult and yet more important qualities that we can work on. And this song is not just about forgiveness one-to-one, like with a family member, but it uses the term to forgive humanity, because I think all of us walk with a little, a little need for that. So, so that's what it's about.
It's time to forgive. This humanity. This humanity.
What if it was forgiveness
Before, it's not after.
What if our love was like God's
Everlasting.
What if it was peace even
Even in the face of horror.
I can't even remember, so
What are we fighting for now?
Sometimes there's not enough
Resources on the planet, but I know
Mother will provide.
you just got to respect her.
Sometimes there's not enough room
In heaven,
144,000
it is just a big thing. So I
Take the book of Revelation and rewrite it. You believe in evil, then you surely were sighted. If you search for demons, then the demons will fight. But the only demon is the one in our own minds. Must there divine peace, divine love, divine trust. Yes, I stay with divine peace, divine love, divine trust. I stay with divine peace, divine love, divine trust, and I know the divine faith in love is a must to transcend, persevere,
have no fear, only love's voice will I hear.
the saying,
Love stays saying, forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive.
I'm not talking about us and them, but we,
The people of the earth, God's children, come together now, come together now. Listen,
never
there's
did something about
no us and them, no. The people of the earth, God's children, come together now, come together now. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive, forgive, forgive. Love is saying, forgive. Love is saying, forgive.
Thank you so much.
The house band.
All right, that's Love Eternal, everyone. Okay. The spiritual truth that I'm working with today is that it is not God and me, it is God as me. Now, if I'm being honest with myself and with you, it's probably one of the most challenging teachings of science of mind. Even though I've been in metaphysics for quite a while now, and I intellectually know that there's not a controlling God in the sky in whom I can either please or displease, even though I get that if I'm operating from a consciousness of one with spirit, of the presence of God, I am not all of God, but God is all of me. If I can operate from that consciousness that God is all of me, then I get that I am not able to control anybody else, that the only person I'm controlling is me. It's not that I'm trying to be the God of you, I'm trying to be the God of me in my life. But still, it makes me all a little nervous, to tell you the truth. I think Sister Mary Margaret is right behind me saying, or my first sponsor is saying, look, there is a God and you're not it. And all of those teachings have been good for me, but equally good is this teaching that it is not me and God, but me as God. Because when I firmly embrace God as love and as harmony and joy and abundance, as opposed to a God in the sky with rules, a formed being with rules, then I can really begin to see a change in my life. See, when I struggle in life, I know I'm not living from the divine within me. When I'm operating from the divine within me, I get that I can part the sea and begin to step into my success. This month, we're celebrating the holiday of Passover. Well, this month, the whole month, we're celebrating spring holidays. The first today is Passover, even though Passover doesn't start until the 15th of April. In order to get it all in, we're going to celebrate Passover this time. Then next week, we're going to do Palm Sunday, and following that will be Easter Sunday. And then the last Sunday of the month, like I say, Donna Appadoni will be here to share a message. Those are all spring holidays that are all about hope. That's the whole purpose of Passover. That's the purpose of Palm Sunday. That's the purpose of Easter, is the purpose of bringing more hope into our lives, especially when we feel like we're being oppressed, especially when we feel like life isn't fair and that we're not moving forward in the life that we want in our lives. Now, I'm going to quickly tell you the story of Passover in case you're coming for the first time and you haven't heard me tell the story. I love the story of Passover. I love to tell it every week. But today I'm going to really condense it, and I want to get to 5 wisdoms that have been shared around what we can take from the story of Passover. They're actually wisdoms that will deepen our understanding that the presence of God is within us all of the time and that we can operate from that presence. The story comes from the Torah in the book of Exodus, and it starts in the land of Egypt when there was a benevolent king who was master of the Jews who were slaves. But he was a benevolent master. It's not a situation we ever want to see, but better than what was to come, who was the next king. In Egypt, the kings were called pharaohs. The next pharaoh was a very mean guy and a very fear-based man. He feared that the Jews were becoming too popular. He feared that they were becoming too powerful. He feared that they were becoming too many. And so he decided to make an edict that would say all of the male babies should be killed upon birth. Well, the story goes, a woman gives birth to a male baby, and she keeps him hidden for about 3 months when he was little enough to keep hidden. But then he got too big. You couldn't hide him anymore. And so she makes a little boat out of papyrus leaves, and she puts him in the little boat, and she shoves the little boat down the Nile River. Well, farther down the Nile River was the daughter of this mean pharaoh. And she sees this little boat. This is one of my favorite parts of the story. Sees this little boat going out in the Nile. Now, she wants the boat. She's not going to get, the Nile has snakes and all manner of things. She's not going out in the Nile, but she sends her handmaiden. Go on now, get out there. Swim fast because you never know what's going to happen. She coached her, but she didn't go in. So then the handmaiden makes it back with the little boat, and the Pharaoh's daughter adopts the little baby and names him Moses. Moses, the word Moses means of the water. And so Moses is adopted. He knows he's Jewish. She knows he's Jewish. Everybody in the palace knows he's Jewish. Everybody in the town knows he's Jewish. But he's treated as a prince in this castle. Well, like all of us in this room, we like to be with the people who look and act and feel like us sometimes, and we want to just be with them. And that's why one of the reasons at CSA, we think it's great for people of color to want to gather with people of color. We think it's great for gay people to want to gather with gay people. We get it. There are things that we say, there are jokes we tell that we don't want everybody to hear. They're not the thing for everybody. So we like to just get with our own kind every once in a while. And so it was with Moses. He wanted to go down to the town where Jewish people hung out and be with his homies. He wanted to go to what was Starbucks and have a little cup of coffee with his buddies. And as he did that, the first time he went, things went fine. The second time he went, what happened was an Israelite and an Egyptian got into a fight. And Moses stepped in. He had a little codependence in him. He stepped in and he stopped the fight. But there was no problem. He just stopped the fight. Well, he goes back the next week. There's another fight. And this time he gets a little rougher and he gets in the fight. And we think it's accidentally, kills the Egyptian. Well, he knew that his life was over in the palace. Once he killed the Egyptian, he was done. And so he runs away. He runs away and he comes upon, on his travels, he comes upon a water well where some young girls were trying to get water. And they were being harassed by some shepherds. He were harassing them. Well, Moses, he didn't care for that. And so he stepped in and he saved the young girls from being harassed. Well, the young girls said, look, come home for dinner. My dad will be so happy you saved us from being harassed. Surely he'll want to make dinner for you. So Moses goes home and he gets ready to have dinner. And the dad not only makes him dinner, but he lines the 5 daughters up and he says, take one. Take one. Could be your wife. Now, I could go on and on about that, as you know, because I have in the past, but I'm not today, because I got to get to these 5 things, so okay. So they go on, and he becomes a sheep herder, Moses does. Now, here's the thing. Sheep herding is an honorable profession, but it wasn't what he was destined to do. And sometimes you and I are in honorable professions, but it's not what our soul is calling us to do. And so things will begin to happen to make sure that we're making a change, won't it? And so it was with Moses, but he kept ignoring all of the requests. And so finally he comes upon what we all know now as the burning bush. And God speaks to him through the burning. First he gets his attention, and doesn't that have to happen with us sometimes? We have to have our equivalent of a burning bush to get our attention, and then we're willing to listen to God, willing to listen to that inner divine calling, willing to listen to what our soul is begging us to do. And so God says to Moses, look, Moses, I want you to go back to the Pharaoh, back to the palace, and tell the Pharaoh to let my people go, okay? No, of course it's not okay. I'm not going to do that. First of all, if I go back there, I'll get shot, or whatever the equivalent of bow in my head, or whatever it was. And I'm too old. I'm too old for this job. And I stutter. You really don't want me to do this job. My brother would be better suited. But God says, no, it's you I want. See, we make so many excuses for ourselves with competition. Oh, somebody else would be better for this. Somebody else will do it better. But God is saying, no, you go and do it. So Moses finally, and God says, by the way, I'm going to give you everything you need to make yourself successful here. So Moses goes back and he says, Pharaoh, would you let my people go? No, I'm not going to let your people go. What's wrong with you? And so, to make a long story short, because I don't have time to get into it all, a lot of things happen. He has some tricks up his sleeves. He tries the tricks. Moses, no, I don't care about the tricks. And so then the plagues start. Remember the plagues? And they start out kind of easy, and they get worse and worse and worse and worse. Well, isn't that what's happening all over our lives right now? We ignore it, and then the consequences get worse and worse and worse. I mean, we're seeing it in the Ukraine right now with Putin. First of all, there's supposed to be a corridor for people to leave in freedom, but they're getting shot. You know, we see this operating in our own personal lives all of the time, where we say we'll do something, but it gets right up to it, and we don't really want to do it, so we don't do it. And then we wait for the next consequence. Okay, now I'll do it. But we really don't do it. Well, the 8 plagues came, and finally nothing works, and so Moses decides to take his people, and God says, go right up to the sea. And when you get there, I'm going to take care of everything for you. And that's exactly what happened. He leads his people to the sea. The Egyptian army is right on their tail, but God parts the sea. And the people walk through. The Israelites walk through. And that's the nutshell version of the story of Passover. See, scholars have long wondered why Jews who number less than 1/4 of 1% of the world's population have had such a profound influence on almost every field of human endeavor. What accounts for the remarkable fact that in the 20th century, more than any other minority have been the most recipients of the Nobel Peace Prize? Almost 1/5 of all Nobel laureates in the history of that prize are Jewish. Perhaps it all goes back to the very beginning of the birth of the Jewish people and the Passover holiday that we'll be celebrating. Passover conveys 5 major concepts that have become the mantras of the Jewish people for how to lead successful and productive lives. They are the 5 most important things to know about the Passover story, and not only to know about the Passover story, but to begin to incorporate in our lives every single day. The Irish Catholic writer Thomas Cahill was so overwhelmed with Jewish people, by how the Jewish people literally transformed the world, that he authored what proved to become an international bestseller called The Gifts of the Jews. One of the major gifts he credits with Jewish genius is the invention of history. Remember that you were strangers in the strange land. Remember that you were strangers in a strange land. Remember that the Lord took you out of the bondage of slavery. See, remember is a biblical mandate. It was the Passover story that initiated that commitment of remember to memory for us. That's why Jewish families tell the story over and over every single year. History is the only way we can learn from the past. History allows us to grow by standing on the shoulders of giants. Make a mistake once and you're human. Make a mistake over and over again, and you will repeat that experience over and over again. That's why it's so important to heed the words of George Santana, who said, "Those who do not learn from history are condemned to repeat it." 2, the second important gift is the importance of optimism. To study the Passover story in depth is to recognize the most difficult job that Moses had was not to lead the people out of Egypt. It was to lead the Egypt out of the people in our life. And truthfully, I could spend a month of Sundays just on this one concept, because you and I have stories from our childhood that we have a death grip on, and we simply won't let them go. If we were willing to let them go, if we were willing to look at them as history, yes, it happened, and here's what I can learn from it, as opposed to, this has happened, poor me, please feel sorry for me. We have to begin to let that go. Moses realized that the Israelites had become so habituated to their slavery that they lost all hope that they could improve their lot. Without hope, they would have been lost. The true miracle of Passover and its relevance for all ages, for us right here today, is the message that with God's help, no difficulty is insurmountable. So let me just say it again. With God's help, with love's help, with divine order's help, no challenge is insurmountable. A tyrant like the Pharaoh could be overthrown. A nation as powerful as Egypt could be defeated. Slaves could become free. The oppressed could break the shackles of their captivity. Anything is possible if we only dare to dream the impossible dream in our life. How many of us are dreaming impossible dreams in our life? Very few, myself included. I get right up to that point, and then I think, oh, but really? Is that possible? I'm so old. Life is so hard. My family needs me to do this or that. We forget to dream that impossible dream. You know, it's interesting to me, when I read this book, the history of America's Great Seal is actually a depiction of the Passover story. And I thought that was interesting, that from the beginning of the Exodus up until the beginning of the United States, we're still using the imagery of Passover in order to say, hey, all things are possible and I'm not taking this anymore. This is over for me. See, it's also, I thought, was interesting that the motto that inspired George Washington and the founding fathers in the American colonies to rebel against the British was this mantra that was brought to us through Passover, and it's this: rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. And that's not only true of the external tyrants that we see in the world today, but it's also true of the internal tyrants that each of us have in our life. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. It was the biblical record of Exodus that enabled the spirit of optimism to prevail for the followers of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in our quest for equal rights, because we were stirred by that speech. And in that speech was the vision of Moses leading his people to the promised land, from Passover to Washington, D.C., and the civil rights movement. It was the hope engendered by recalling how God redeemed our ancestors that allowed Jews who were in Auschwitz to begin to feel from their history that there was hope, that they could be liberated. The optimistic spirit, based on our own miraculous history, is the second gift of Passover. The third gift is the importance of faith. A pessimist, it has been said, is someone who has no visible means of support. I like that. A pessimist is somebody who has no visible means of support. And they're not talking about financial support necessarily, but support in every area of our lives. Jewish optimism is rooted in a contrary notion, a firmly held belief that we are blessed by the support of a caring God who's with us 24/7. And that faith in a personal God gives us faith in ourselves, in our future, and in our ability to change the world, which is in some aspect why we're here. It's not only an ability to get and have a fabulous life of our own, but our ability to create an atmosphere in which Ukraine doesn't happen, in which racism ends, in which homophobia and transphobia end in our life. We have that ability. Thomas Cahill credits the Jews not only for monotheism, that's the idea of only one God, but for the additional groundbreaking idea of a God, a divine being, with whom we share a personal relationship. And our founder, Ernest Holmes, famously wrote, God is not a person, but God is personal to all who dwell in that indwelling spirit. God is not a person, but God is personal to all of us who have a connection. That the Passover story conveys that history is not happenstance. It follows a divine master plan. It has been predestined. It has a predestined order. Order is translated in Hebrew to the word Seder. And Seder is the ceremony that accompanies the dinner, the longest dinner in the history of the world, by the way. The Seder is how that is celebrated. And it's why a major ritual in Passover is called by its name, Seder. Coincidence is not a Jewish concept. Coincidence is just God's way of remaining anonymous. I love that. Coincidence is just God's way of remaining anonymous. Fourth gift of Passover is the importance of family. Passover taught us yet another truth. The way to perfect the world is to begin with our own families. God built his nation by commanding not a collective gathering of hundreds of thousands of people in the town square, but in the homes of every Jewish person. They are commanded to begin in the home. It seems all too obvious. We always hear this phrase, children are our future. They are the ones who require also the most attention. The home is where we form our identities, and it's also where we form our values in our life, more even than in the synagogue. It is in our homes that sow the seeds of future and ensure our continuity. No wonder then that the commentators point out that the very first word in the Torah is the word bet, B-E-T. And what it means is the letter whose meaning is house. That's what it means, is house. All of the Torah follows the understanding, after the understanding that family is primary. The world may mock Jewish parents for their overprotectiveness and their child-centered way of life, but they are the ones who are chiefly responsible for these achievements of their progeny. They are the ones who are responsible for Nobel laureates being so firmly rooted in the Jewish community. At the Seder table, children are encouraged to be the stars, and their questions are treated with respect. And that is the first step in developing Jewish genius. The last and final gift of Passover is the gift of the importance of responsibility to others. One serious question begs to be asked as we celebrate our divine deliverance from slavery, either in Egypt or in our own mind. We thank God for getting us out, but then we have to ask the question, why did God lead us into such a terrible place in the first place? A remarkable answer becomes evident in the numerous Torah texts. We were slaves in Egypt, and so we have empathy for the downtrodden in every generation. We were slaves in Egypt, so we have compassion, understanding, hope for the downtrodden in every generation. And so we have to be concerned with the rights of strangers, of homeless people, and the impoverished. We have experienced oppression, and so we must understand that anyone in the path of being oppressed is our cause. Anyone standing in the path of being oppressed deserves our help, deserves us to work for them. The tragedy of their encounter with injustice is in no small measure meant to prepare us to serve throughout all future generations as spokespeople for those whose pain we can personally identify. How can we identify it? We identify it because we've been through it, the Jews say. The purpose of our suffering was to turn us into a people committed to righting the wrongs of the world, to become partners with God in making the world worthy of a final redemption. So we begin the Seder by inviting the hungry and the homeless to join us. And how many people have ever been to a Seder? They're quite a beautiful experience. And if I had more time, I would actually organize one for us, because I know you like a really long dinner here at CSA. But actually, next week, for those of you who have kids and grandkids, we're going to do a children's Seder, a modified children's Seder that we can get through in 1 hour. So, you want to bring your kids. It is our acceptance. Not only do they open the door to the hungry and the homeless, but they also conclude the Seder by opening the door for Elijah. And Elijah is simply a stranger. Elijah is somebody they can embrace and feed and welcome into their home with love. It is our acceptance of responsibility to others that is the key to hastening the arrival of a Messiah. The Messiah is us. But we have to arrive in order to make the world a better place. From the earliest childhood, every Jew identifies with these five powerful ideas that we've just shared, that are at the heart of Passover and its message. And precisely because of memory, optimism, faith, family, and responsibility, those five vital characteristics they've been able to achieve beyond anybody's wildest imaginings. Let's take this message into prayer. There's only one power. It's the power of love. And it runs right through me. It runs right through me as a Jew, as a Christian, as a Buddha. As Muhammad. As all sentient beings. That love runs right through us. And so we simply say yes. Yes, I'm willing to be loved today. Yes, I'm willing to put my hurt feelings away today and be loved. Yes, I'm willing to put my disappointments away today and be loved. I give thanks for that. I release this word into the law, and together we say, and so it is. If you will take your gift in your hand and repeat after me, money is God in action. I send it forth to bless and to prosper all who come in contact with it. And so it is. Amen.
Well, about a decade ago, we were living in our home in the mountains of Santa Cruz, and the United States was at war with at least two countries. All of California was on fire, and we lived next to a place that the Ohlone people used to call a silver bridge, because when the salmon would come in, it was so full they could go and just scoop them out. We had a neighbor who said when he first moved to that area, he could go down with a pitchfork, scoop fish right out of the river. And our keyboardist was a biologist, and he studied the salmon and got laid off that year because not a single fish returned. We were also in our religious science practitioner training. And so instead of writing a song going, the world's on fire and everything, there's wars and the fishes are all dead, we wrote one where it affirms the wars are over and the fires have ceased and the fishes return to the seas, and that's what song this is. And 2 years ago, that biologist emailed me a picture of the first salmon finally arriving and returning back to that stream. So we're grateful for that.
So imagine with us. Hold the vision.
Return to the streams and the corporations act responsibly. United States learn the meaning of democracy. Yeah. New world is coming, can't you see? Or is it here now? Think it's here now. Help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other, yeah. Help each other out now. 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 The wars are over.
Imagine.
And the fires have ceased. And every single being on this earth with enough to eat. Plenty of room for the forest and the trees, and the fishes return to the seas and the streams. And the corporations act responsibly. United States learn the meaning of democracy. New world is coming, can't you see? Or is it here now? I think it's here now. So help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other. You can sing that. Help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other out now. Help each other. Thank you so much. We do have CDs over at the table and free stickers with the name Love Eternal on it and other such things. We love you so much. Thanks for having us. Thank you, Reverend Jordan.
Great.
Thank you, man.
Love Eternal, everybody. Today is the first Sunday of the month, so that means it's Pennies from Heaven Sunday. So if anybody has any loose change for our teenagers, we just invite you to throw it in this wheelbarrow. All right, so Maestro, we are ready for our children.
The same. I'm glad you came. So glad you came.
Hi. Come on up here.
So glad you came.
Who's talking?
Penny first, and then Ava and Camilla together.
I don't know.
So
Penny,
glad you came. So glad you came. So glad you came. Sun goes
All right.
down.
Great, Penny. We would like to hear from you.
We planted seeds and we said nice words to grow.
All right. All right. And do you think if you plant good seeds in your heart that you need to say nice words to grow?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Yes. Ava, did you have something? Put the microphone up. Okay.
We care for each other so each of us can grow.
All right. All right. Teens.
Teens, come
I
on
didn't
down.
forget you this week. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Today in Teen Group, we celebrate the joy of the changing of seasons by playing games. Today's quote is, "Life may be for learning, but it is wise to have fun along the way."
All right. Thank you. All right. Remember, if you are going to sign up for, have signed up for Reverend Brenda's fabulous class last week, you need to sign up again this week. There's other sign-up stuff out there, so if you'll stand, we'll do the benediction. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my heart. Life is in my mind. Life is in my affairs. I take this life out this day, and I share it with another. And so it is, so I am, so we are. Amen.